Hi everyone. This segment is on the process. You've viewed our website, you've seen what we do, you've seen the projects that we do. This is now about talking to you about what we do and the 10-step process that we go through, that if you were to want to proceed to engage us as a buyer's agent, as a project manager, as a financial services. So you know a bit about what we're doing, so now it comes back to let's talk about you and how we can make that happen. We do this, now you can be in Western Australia, you can be in South Australia, you can be any state in the country. Because we use this technology here, Zoom Meet, I'll be sitting there and you'll be on the screen and we'll interact real time. So the best thing about technology today is it lowers your overhead. We don't have to jump on planes and go. Any expense that I expend to get to talk to you adds to the end cost. So what I do is rely on technology to reduce the cost. So we're the leanest possible model. So that doesn't mean to say that we would never catch up personally, but in most stages I will use this technology to be able to talk to yourself. And of course, if you decide to come to Brisbane to view properties and stuff, well, that of course is your choice. I don't make commissions on fee for service, so I charge a fee. There's no commissions at all. So there's no point in asking me to fly to Brisbane to look at a property because I only make money out of you by charging a fee, and that's only when you're happy to do so. But let me step you through the 10-step process. The first step is to do a fact find. For me to understand where you are now, for me to understand where you want to go, and then I'll do financial analysis past that. So, it's not an onerous thing, it's not hours or anything like that. A Zoom meet maximum is 40 minutes. So, and it can be done after the kids have gone to bed, can be done lunchtime, your choice. Step 2, so I've done a fact find, I understand your position. Step 2 is to discuss it. You'll have a copy, I'll email you a copy. From that fact find, we'll know whether you qualify or not. And then I would have a sample property investment report that would sort of property investment analysis that would give you a basic idea of what we're looking at pertaining to you particularly. If you liked what you heard, if you are wanting to take to the next step, I would then refer you to one of our mortgage brokers. Now, I own a significant shareholding in 2 national brokerage groups, so I've got access to approximately 300 mortgage brokers around the country that I feel very comfortable working with. Their role is to sit in front of you more than it is mine, but so I would refer you to a mortgage broker. A mortgage broker is going to do a fact find for a financier, so they'll take all your details. What they'll then do is do a pre-approval. So these mortgage brokers take direction from me in my financial analysis of what I feel you need, and there's lots of pitfalls to watch out for, which I'm very aware of, and as I've said in other videos on our site, your best interests are first and foremost. So, but the broker will do the pre-approval. The third meeting then is also a Zoom meet. We'll have a pre-approval. We'll have an indication that you qualify, and we'll actually be able to decide on a budget as well. So it's at that point where you'll say, well, then the next step is to start looking. But it'll be you decide that. We've spoken to the broker. We know you qualify. We know you can afford it, and of course these properties are all cash flow positive. So, it's not really deciding can I afford it? It's kind of deciding what you're going to do with the surplus income. So if you give me the go-ahead, I'll start looking. And now, again, I use technology to start looking. At this point in time, it still cost you this much. I'm not charging you to this point. But what I will do is, because we've got a budget, and because that will give me an idea of the area that we go to, I'll be able to start looking. Again, I'll just use technology. I'll use CoreLogic. I'll use other sites that I can decide where to go on your behalf. And what I'll do from there is I'll come up with a short list. Step 5 is the commitment stage. This is where you decide whether or not you can proceed or not. It's probably at this point you decide whether or not you're going to come to Brisbane or not, because I'll have shortlisted properties that would be suitable for you. Now you don't have to come to Brisbane. We can do it on this. And I can do this on site too, by the way, so to view the home that you would purchase. So remembering that you've seen the mortgage broker, so we know that you can do this. I would only have us at properties where I thought we could get a favourable outcome. And a favourable outcome means we're getting it for the right price. I know we're going to get good tenants for it. It's well positioned and what have you. But I'll have, in total, I may have looked at as many as 60 properties, but shortlisted down to 10, probably decide that 3 or 4 are worthwhile looking at. I would do a drive past first before I view inside the property direct. So, but that's my role. Step 6 from that point is then I make an offer on your behalf as the buyer's agent. So I deal with the listing agent to deal with the vendor. You'll see in some of the videos there that I'm a bit cheeky sometimes with the prices that I start at. But I'll know how much these people have paid for these properties, and I've known how long they've held them for. I'll know roughly what sort of response I'm going to get when I'm trying to negotiate the price down. So, but bearing in mind the bigger picture is it doesn't have to be as cheap as, because we want good tenants, and it's got to be a property where we can put the auxiliary home in the backyard and get good tenants there too. So there's numerous factors there, and each property is different. So, but I would make an offer. The offer's accepted, we've secured the property. Well, then you can have a final financial analysis which pertains to your cash flow, how you're buying it in joint names or single names, who owns what, and everything. But that will be a report that's pertainable to you. 7th stage then is that the contract's proceeding. So we get the contracts to the lawyer. We've got a lawyer here that will act on your behalf for the settlement, and again, part of my fold, so you'll get a good deal. And also the contracts to the broker. The broker can then submit to the lender to get your final approval. So we're proceeding the settlement. What I do then is I talk to the property managers, I get them out, get them started on finding you a tenant. So as don't have a long lag time after settlement to when the main property is earning you an income. Now, at this stage, and this is part of the project management side of it also, it's not only just about the auxiliary home, but it's about the what we have to do to the main house. You've seen in some of the examples that I've done renovations. Some of them reasonably extensive, some of them not. Some of them I haven't touched at all. It's at this time where I'd be talking to contractors about work to be done. Sometimes, and I've got that in my own examples, that it's taken 2.5 months before the work's been complete, before I can get a tenant in there to get an income out of the property. Well, the assessment on that's been done earlier, knowing that how much extra rent's going to, and the time that it's going to take for me to get my money back and so forth. We'll have discussed all that by then, but we'll know financially your ability to be able to wait that 10 weeks before you start to earn an income and so forth. That will have already been discussed before now. So, and we can make contingencies for all that. But that's when we do it at this stage. The next step is to sign the building contracts to build the auxiliary home. 85 days generally is the time from signing the contract to completion. Sometimes it runs a little bit out, but again, you'll have been earning an income from the main house, so you'll have revenue coming, and that's probably break even. And I'm assuming you're borrowing the whole amount of money here when I say that. But if we need to allow a little bit extra, again, we provision that in the loan side of things. And of course, the last step is when the auxiliary home's complete. As the project manager, I will have organised finalised the ancillaries, and that will be the curtains and the dishwasher, the grass, landscaping, driveway, all that sort of stuff. I'll have organised all of that. But then I'll have been speaking to the property manager as well, so as we get a tenant in very quick, so that the premise being that as soon as it's complete, we can get a tenant in there as quickly as possible, and that way you're getting your 2 rental incomes. You've only expended the single purchase of the land. You're going to get the higher yield. So a 10-step process. That's my role as the buyer's agent, my role as the project manager, my role also as the principal of the financial assessment, financial recommendation. Thank you.